And I didn't realize how dumb I sounded and looked in that video until I rewatched it myself. I just felt stupid for saying that in last night's video after rewatching it, and I need to apologize, so here we are. Okay, calm down, calm down. I have messed up and I apologize. Okay, I'm saying it up front. I apologize. I've made a severe lapse of judgment. Now, if you have no idea what I'm talking about whatsoever, I'm talking about my reaction to the Florida and Utah game. Most of y'all know how we like to do things around here. Right after a big time game, I'll give you my live reaction, and that's what we did last night. And then I like to go to bed, get a full night's rest, or honestly about 4 to 5 hours before we're doing this video, and I like to reassess. Because I don't know what it is. 9 times out of 10, your immediate reaction isn't the correct and right reaction. That is, at least for me. Maybe not for you, but for me. I gotta sleep on it, watch some tape, watch some film, and then reassess. And that is what I've done, and I do want to state this at the beginning of the video. I will be apologizing to the Utah fan base and the Utah team, and not really apologizing for the video, but I need to clear some things, clear the air. And oh yeah, by the way, we're not doing no intro, none of that. We're getting straight into it. It's relatively simple. If you like our content, consider joining our college football community. If you don't like it, then you don't got to join. It's cool. To give you some context to the situation, I'm just going to go on Twitter because I've had like 10 people at bare minimum repost this video, and it's all over Twitter, so I'm just going to find one of my mentions. I'll just show you this one right here from Yvonne. He's a Utah fan. He posted this on Twitter. Matt wrote a clip. Gators. So this is going to sound really weird, and I get it, but I thought Florida played a pretty dang good ball game, and I thought Florida outplayed Utah. Overall, from start to finish, Florida played better than Utah. I get it, it's a crazy concept, but just hear me out. But here's the thing with that. Florida made so many mental mistakes, and for 8 to 10 plays of the game, when you needed to have a good play and outplay Utah, they didn't. And that's how sports work. Whether it's golf, baseball, basketball, water. I ain't gonna lie, that guy talking in that video clip right there on Twitter, he's a straight up idiot. If he talks about college football a lot, he needs to stop because he has no idea what he's talking about. Who is that guy? Seriously, he gotta be a clown. I don't know who that is. That must be like my evil twin brother or something. That must be Matt B. Bald or something. I'm Matt B. Great, so I don't know. All right. On a serious note, let me lock in and let's get down to business. Yeah, that's right. Those words came out of my mouth, and I'm going to have a rebuttal. And I would like to say this as well. Sometimes when people post a 30-second clip out of a 10-minute video, it can be taken out of context. But unfortunately, this is not out of context. This is 100% correct. You heard me say that. I stated that Florida outplayed Utah outside of 8 to 10 plays. And I didn't realize how dumb I sounded and looked in that video until I rewatched it myself. When I rewatched it this morning, I was like, yeah, Matt, you're a straight up idiot, and this is one of your worst pieces of work. I haven't even checked out the comment section, so let's do this. I already know everybody's going to be giving me a hard time, so you're getting my live reaction to these comments. Let's just read off a couple real quick. Top comment on the video. You could have been watching the same game. Utah was clearly the better team to the 5-minute mark in the 4th. Another one from Clark here. Did you just say Florida outplayed Utah? Some of the classic SEC whataboutism, LOL. Bro, we couldn't have been watching the same game. Florida made so many mistakes. I was genuinely laughing at the stupidity. All right, bro. After watching a handful of this man's videos, I can conclude that bro has a football IQ in the single digits. Yeah, I think that's going to be the last one we read. All right. I'm not going to lie. Those are all pretty fair comments because I did sound pretty dumb in that video, I will admit. But now I hope to somewhat redeem myself and explain myself in a better manner. I worded that so bad in the video. Did Florida actually outplay Utah? No. I apologize for that. Shouldn't have said it. Don't know why I said it, but it is what it is. I make mistakes, and I'm going to make many more. The point I was trying to get across in that video is that Florida beat themselves. I can't emphasize this enough. I apologize, and that should have been what I said last night, not that Florida outplayed Utah. That's wrong. I felt like Florida, for 75% of the game, they were playing a decent ball game. But that 25% of the game, and it is a big portion. I mean, it's 25%. It's not like it's 2%. They were awful, and they had too many mental mistakes. I'll put it this way. Florida just had way too many bad plays. Utah, they didn't really have bad plays. They didn't really have too many mental mistakes. I mean, take a look at the numbers for yourself. Florida had 17 first downs. Utah only had 14. Total yards, Florida had 346. Utah only had 270. That was the point I was trying to get across. But watching the game itself, it felt like Florida, if they would have made the big time plays when they needed to, they would have been in this game. I'm going to put it this way. I thought Utah played their C-plus game. I know they can play way better than that. I am so high on Utah. And let me remind some of y'all saying, oh, Matt's got SEC bias. I picked Utah to win this game. So I don't know where that's coming from. It's more so of I thought Florida was going to suck this year. So I am somewhat shocked to see them kind of look decent in a hostile environment in Utah. That's all I'm saying. I'm just trying to give Florida the benefit of the doubt. The reason I really didn't talk about Utah as much, guys, is because we know Utah's a good football team. Utah just played Utah football, and they didn't do anything flashy in the game either. Hey, they was winning the game. They won the game by double digits with their backup quarterbacks. They didn't even have their starting quarterback, Cam Rising, who's a beast, by the way, and it was a piece of cake for him. It was a cakewalk. It felt like Utah was just on cruise control. They sat back and said, you know what? Let's just let Florida beat themselves. And that's what happened. If you give this Billy Napier Florida team a chance to beat themselves, they will do it. I promise you that. I thought Utah played their C-plus game. Didn't do anything crazy good, didn't do anything crazy bad, and I thought Florida played their D-plus game. And also, I do apologize in last night's video for not giving Utah enough credit. First game of the year, starting quarterbacks out, and you went out there and handled business. I don't care if you're at home, I don't care if you're on the road, I don't care where you are. Beating an SEC team like Florida with their talent is not an easy task. And you didn't just beat them, you kind of blew them out. The game was never in doubt. You did what you did, you handled business. But yet again, and I don't want to beat a dead horse here, I can't emphasize this enough, I expected Utah to look good. I expected Utah to win this game, so I wasn't shocked by that. However, here's what I was shocked about. Florida, their quarterback, Graham Mertz, who I don't believe in, I ranked him as like one of the last or worst quarterbacks in my SEC quarterback rankings. He was 31 for 44 with over 300 yards. He played good. Well, let me go back on that. I said he played good. His numbers were good. I'd say he played, maybe average, slightly above average. His QBR was only 30.4, but yet again, outside the interception, he did a good job as a Florida quarterback. Considering I thought he wasn't worth a dang crap, he shocked me. And if you would have told Florida fans that Graham Mertz was going to throw for 333 yards, they would have been like, oh yeah, we won this game by 20 points. It's the fact that Utah, their defense, shut down Florida. That's why they won this game. I can't believe Florida only had 13 rushing yards. It's crazy. And what baffles me even more is they only had 21 rush attempts. I get it wasn't working, but I think at bare minimum, if you are a Florida team, you got to run the ball at bare minimum, what, 35 times a game? Maybe that's pushing it, but I know 21's not enough. And oh yeah, by the way, out of that 21, 8 of those carries was from Graham Mertz, and that also includes sacks. So outside of Graham Mertz, Florida had 13 rush attempts. There is no reason that ETN should only get 7 carries. That is laughable to me. ETN is a good/great running back. You got to get him more than 7 carries. You got to involve him in the offense more as well. I'm kind of curious, what did Utah's quarterbacks do? I haven't even looked at their box score. Bryson Barnes. Oh yeah, what about Bryson Barnes? First play of the game, 70-yard touchdown. He played amazing. I think in the first quarter, he was something like 4 for 4 with 130 yards. After that, there wasn't too much action for the quarterbacks. You did have Nate Johnson come in, have a couple scrambles. He wound up having 6 carries for 45 yards. And then Bryson Barnes, well, he didn't play as much in the second half. Like I said, the second half for Utah, they were on cruise control. They was like, yeah, let's just let our defense do what they do and make Florida beat us. And they couldn't. Got to be honest, it was a smart game plan because Florida, they'll shoot themselves in the foot if you give them the opportunity. That's all it was. And all in all, the main reason I made this video is to apologize, number one, and two, get this out there, clear the air. No. Florida did not play better than Utah. Utah was the better team. Utah outplayed Florida. And guess what? Utah told Florida, hey, you got to beat us. And they couldn't. I just felt stupid for saying that in last night's video after rewatching it. And I need to apologize. So here we are. That's all there is to it. Let me know your thoughts down below. But roll with it.